Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful features of Excel, and that is pivot tables. And I love pivot tables. I use them just about every single day. If you check out my course on Udemy, I've got a whole course just on pivot tables. I love it, and I'm excited to do this quick little tutorial for you guys because of that. So if you want to summarize and analyze large data sets quickly, pivot tables are the way to go. So let's get started. All right, so what exactly is a pivot table? It's a tool and it allows you to automatically total up information, sort information, count information, all this stored data that you have in your spreadsheet or workbooks, and it can turn a lot of information basically into meaningful summaries, and you don't necessarily need to know how to do all the complex formulas that you would do from scratch had you not used a pivot table. It is so perfect for reports and data analysis. And we're going to check it out in this tutorial. We're going to create a really quick pivot table. And in this example, you might remember this table from another one of our examples, but in this example, we sell things and we sell doohickeys. Now, this is a really small table, and it wouldn't be too terribly hard just to summarize the information up on its own. But just imagine it's a big table, a huge table. One of the pivot tables that I use personally is for my yearly expenses. And so I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of line items, and I just super quickly just summarize that all up, literally within a matter of seconds. And I'll show you that right now, even with this small amount of data, how we can summarize it in just a matter of seconds. So the first thing we want to do is select all the data that we want to turn into a pivot table. Now that's going to be the actual records that we have here, our rows, but then we also want to make sure that we grab the titles as well, because that's going to be important. So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and select A1 all the way down to D11. I'm in the Home tab right now of my ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and change that over to the Insert tab. And then on the far left-hand side, the very first button here is Pivot Table. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a click. Now it's saying what's the range that you want to use. Now I've already selected it, and I can see the little green dancing ants around the entire list that I have there. I can either choose to put my pivot table in an existing sheet, or I can put it into a whole new worksheet, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it into a whole new worksheet so that it's a little bit more clear for this example. It's already selected here, so I'll just go ahead and click on OK. And then just like that, we've got on the left-hand side here our blank pivot table area. This is where our pivot table is going to go. On the right-hand side, we have all of the fields. Now, this is why I was saying it's so important to grab those headers as well. These are all of the different columns that we had in that list on our other sheet. And again, this is all in a whole new sheet. All right, so let's go ahead and add some fields to our pivot table, make it a little bit more interesting than just this blank thing that we have here. Let's say at first, we'll do a couple things, but let's say the first thing that we want to do is see the sales for each product. The sales for each product. So over here in my pivot table list, I'm going to take product name and I'm going to drag it down here to rows. And if you take a look over on the actual worksheet itself in the A column, I have the unique names for all of the products. There's no duplicates here. These are the unique names for the products. And I want to know the sales for each of them. So I'm going to take sales and then move that down to my values area. And that summed up all of the sales for each of those different products. Now let's say I wanted to change this around a bit. I wanted to, instead of seeing the product name, I wanted to see the category. First thing I'll show you how to do, there's a couple different ways to do this. I'm just going to show you one way. But again, you can check out that Udemy video. It's got multiple different ways. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take product name out of the rows, and I just want to illustrate this for you guys. You'll notice here that when I left click and drag product name from rows onto the spreadsheet, it gives me this red X here, letting me know that I'm going to be deleting it. And then when you grab a field and bring it in, when you bring it into a certain area, it actually illustrates for you by highlighting in blue where that data is going to go. Okay, but let me go ahead and get rid of this. And then I'm going to bring this in by category. I'm taking the category now down to the rows. So now you can see, again, on my spreadsheet on the left-hand side here, how much I made in doohickeys and how much I made in things. Now I'm going to add even more to this. I'm going to bring the product name back in. I'm going to bring the product name into the columns area. So look at what it did here to the pivot table. So my rows are by the category type, which is either doohickeys or things, and then the columns there are the individual types of products that I have. All right, now this is called a pivot table because I can pivot or move this information around super quickly. So I am going to take category, move it up to columns, take product, and move it down to rows. See how that looks, you guys? Really nice, right? And then, oh, what if I wanted to do like nested information? So here I have the products in the rows, and then you can see on the B column, we've got our doohickeys. The C column, we have there our thingies. What I'm going to do next is take category, and I'm going to bring it to rows. I'm going to bring it right above my product name. And now this is even nicer looking, at least to me. I have the different categories, the subcategories of the products that are in those categories, and then the totals down there on the top actually of each one, and a grand total. So remember how the information looked before? Let me go to our original table. Here is our before, and here is our after. Before, and this again is a small list, but imagine you had a huge, huge, huge list. Mine's about probably over 1,000 rows right now, right? It was so quick to make this pivot table. Look how nice this looks. And then you can add more features to this as well. Maybe I want to show these numbers as a currency or even as a percentage of the whole here. Let me show you how to do a percentage of the whole real quick. So I'm going to go to this doohickey A. I'm just going to right mouse click, and then I'm going to choose show value of, or excuse me, show values as. And what if I say here, you know what? I want to show this as a percentage of the column total. Awesome. So out of all the products and all the categories that were sold, so we sold everything, it's 100%, right? We sold 56, a little over 50%, 56% of what we sold were doohickeys, and about 44, a little bit under 44% were things. And then you can see the breakdown in percentages of A, B, and C for each of the products. And if you're wondering why thing A is a little bit out of order, it's because I didn't add a space in. It's going alphabetically. If I would have done it correctly, then thing A would have been at the top. But no bother. You guys are with me, right? Yeah, you are. All right, so that's a quick overview of pivot tables. They're an incredible, incredible way to summarize and analyze your data so quickly and easily. And again, you guys, if you found this tutorial helpful, please give it those thumbs up and subscribe for more tips. I've got a lot more information again on pivot tables on Udemy, so check that out. Go to the description, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next video.